Men of unstable characters. Number one, Reno Omokri. Number two, Femi Fani Kayode. Number three, Monkey Daniel Bwala. Speaking good English doesn't make someone intelligent. Idiots speak good English too. I hope you know that. Daniel Bwala is a criminal. What is bad is bad. It has no other name. The government of APC has failed us, Nigerians, and they are all liars. All Bola Tinubu spokesmen are just too aggressive anytime you ask them simple question. You see this kind of persons being used as peers to a president. So a president can speak to his people through social media. When everywhere is burning, God must punish this man called Bwala. I'm telling you. Statement is different from addressing the people. What is this Bwala saying? My country people, I beg you, this thing pain me well. For this interview, where they interview this Daniel Bwala, say president never talk to a people. If they open a mouth, they talk, say the president tweet. Now tweet for 1 year. Now social media, that president will talk to him people. I beg, which kind of thing be this? My country people, this question na bad question. Make I leave when I'm going to watch the video because I see me on herself.
To our Nigerians that need more education about communication.
I don't understand what you're talking. I asked you a straightforward question. You're not answering.
What is the straightforward question?
The straightforward question is why hasn't the president,
so if the president
addressed his people at a time of incredible crisis?
And if the president speaks to the Nigerian people through tweets, is that not a communication?
Please, let me borrow the words of the
former... If the president tweets, is that not a communication? If the president issues a statement, is that not a communication?
No, he needs to address the Nigerian people. Where? On television, on radio, now, where they can watch him and hear him and look at him and hear what he has to say.
When the president received envoy and was speaking about what Nigeria is doing and the commitment of Nigeria, which is covered by TV and reported by radio, is that not a means of communication?
Let me borrow the words of the former special advisor to the Tinubu presidency on political matters, Hakim Baba Ahmed, a member of your government, who resigned in frustration. His question was, what does it take to get President Tinubu to address the country? Is he not a leader that's elected by the people? Isn't that what leaders do? If not now, when?
We still have some coming.
Right. So tell us what you've been doing to counter President Trump's narrative.
So the president is clear about his administration's resolve in fighting insecurity. And that is evidence in the so many steps he has taken even before Nigeria was designated. You recall he rejigged the service chiefs. In August, there was even a defense contract we signed, approval from the State Department for the sale of weapons, I think to the tune of over $300 million. He has given the charge to the Nigerian soldiers to make arrests, deal with insecurity. So he's already on that line. But then misinformation came and then led to that conversation. And we just realized that for many years, we allow the world to tell our own story when matters affect us. And the outcome has always not been favorable. So this time around, the president decided, let's take the message ourselves to the rest of the world and tell them fact as they are, as transparent as our government is, and our resolve in dealing with insecurity.
Right, but how effective has it been? Has it been a winning formula? Is it reaching the ears of the people in the White House and the man in the Oval Office?
Definitely. If you have been observing the various engagement by the government of the United States, whether it is members of the executive or the legislative, from when that tirade started to now, the tone is coming down. It's more of a call for cooperation, more of a call for partnership, more of a call for us to...
Well, I don't see the tone coming down. What I'm seeing is that Donald Trump told people like Riley Moore and other members of Congress to go and investigate and report back to him. And so that's what they're doing at the moment.
And the same people that he gave the assignment to, which was led by Riley Moore, Congressman Riley Moore, if you have seen his most recent tweet, I think it was early today or yesterday, when he was talking about Nigeria has the opportunity to take advantage of partnership and collaboration. He said, I called and I asked the government of Nigeria to partner with us so we can assist them. Unlike in the past when they would say guns are blazing, people are flying.
No, that was Donald Trump saying
but they echoed it in their various platforms.
But I'm not sure the rhetoric has come down.
It has.
I mean, I think what they're doing is that they're watching to see what you guys are actually going to do. And the question on a lot of people's minds is, have you actually been able to address Mr. Trump's demands? Because, I mean, to a lot of people, it doesn't look like you have.
No, you see, so let me give you a perspective and very briefly on that. Both Donald Trump and the government of Nigeria are on the same page. We all have shared interest in the fight against terrorism. We already have an established relationship with them. And that's why I said as early as this last August, there was an approval by the State Department for procurement of arms. We paid for them, right? So what he did recently, which of course outside of the established order, because what he said was not premised on the advisory of the State Department and the various organizations. It was just this congressman, but we've gone past that stage. So the point I'm saying is that we are on the same page with them. But the recent development of what seemed to be like a conflict is creating the avenue and opportunity for us to sit down and review the various defense contract and relationship that we have with them, so we can have enhanced military ammunitions and technical equipment, especially one that relates to reconnaissance and intelligence gathering.
Well, what they want the Nigerian government to get, all they want, and they've made it very clear.
Right.
They want the Nigerian government to get its act together, do more for its people, to keep them secure,
right,
less frustrated, stop the corruption, stop the bad governance, stop the insecurity, stop the muddling through. Too many security issues, get a handle on things, or the Americans are going to come in and do it.
So
that's basically the message.
So if that is what they are saying,
well, that is what they're
so
saying.
what is the timeline?
I don't know what the timeline
So
is.
that is why we're
I'm not the
explaining to you.
American.
That's why we're explaining to you what we are doing. Let me tell you this: Americans went to Afghanistan in 2001 with clear mission to change the regime, establish democratic government, and move on. They spent 21 years. They stayed 21 years and spent 2.4 trillion US dollars, lost 18 CIA high-valued operatives, 20,800 military contractors, and then a lot of damages.
I don't think
I'm coming. Let me land.
Yeah.
And after 21 years, they handed the government back to the Taliban. Do you know why? Imagine threats are not things you deal with tomorrow. That's why rhetoric don't help issues. What we look at systems, are we making the effort? So judge us on whether we're making the effort or not. I just told you as a monologue, the steps the president has taken, the resolve that we have, the tax and charges that he gave to the men of the armed forces and other security platforms to deal with that.
Right. Let me put it this way.
Right.
Where do you think the Tinubu government has gone wrong in all of this? Do you hold yourselves accountable for any of the allegations against you, or do you hold yourselves blameless? Because as you know, in public life, in a democracy,
right,
leaders need to hold themselves accountable.
And the people as well can hold their leaders accountable, and our government is open to feedback. If you recall, Mr. Charles, before I traveled outside of Nigeria, we started the engagement with the Nigerian communities and religious leaders as the foundation, the ground zero of this conflict resolution. They gave their feedbacks. I was on your show. I talked about their recommendation to deepening the fight, make arrests, prosecute the individuals. We are tired of hearing condolence messages. We want to see results. So we have already had the impression and recommendation of the Nigerian people, and we're working with it.
Right.
Right.
How bothered by Mr. Trump's vitriolic, confrontational threats would you say President Tinubu is? Is he mildly or incredibly concerned that the U.S. seems to have run out of patience with his government?
No. I will put it this way. I am sure that after Donald Trump made those remarks through his tweet, you have heard the position of our president.
Right.
Calm and collected, and our commitment to protect our territorial integrity, to fight terrorism and insurgency, preserve and protect the Nigerian citizens. So he's focused on that. All of the subsequent actions and acts of the president in relation to his communication with the servicemen has always been consistent with that. And we're clear about the objective. The reason we're not bothered, I said it now in the interview I had, the way we read is different from the way people perceive what Donald Trump is saying. Thankfully, we understood his style of communication. We know the message. We take away the rhetorics. We're working with the message. What I can tell you I've been hearing lately as a feedback from the Nigerian people is when arrests are made of terrorists, that the story sort of disappears. They don't see actual prosecution in the court. Then with respect to dealing with the terrorists themselves, Nigerians have complained that oftentimes these same terrorists or bandits, as in this case may be, tomorrow they will claim to be reconciled